Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Friendship and love know no boundaries. That's true, even if we're talking about the relationships between animals and humans. From Pocho the Crocodile to Christian the Lion, this list of 10 incredible relationships between humans and animals is going to melt your heart, for sure. These epic stories of love and devotions show us that if someone has a heart that knows how to love unconditionally, then it can be bonded even with the most ferocious of beasts. What's the wait for? Let's roll in then. Number 10. Pocho the Crocodile. A Costa Rican fisherman named Gilberto Chico Shedden found an injured crocodile on the banks of the country's Parismina River in 1991. The croc had been shot in the left eye and was close to death. Gilberto decided to nurse the reptile back to health and fed him with chicken, fish, and medicine, and even slept with him during his recovery. He named the croc Pocho. After Pocho gained health, Gilberto released him to a river near his house in Squirries to return to its home, but the next morning he found out that the crocodile had followed him home and was sleeping outside his balcony. After that day, Pocho never left again and became a member of Gilberto's family, along with his second wife. The first wife left him because of the reptile. Their incredible relationship was so strong that Gilberto used to play and swim with the huge croc, and the two used to perform in the water for tourists every Sunday until the croc's death from natural causes in 2011. Pocho was given a human-style funeral with thousands attending his wake and burial. Number 9. Gabbys Crows. Would you believe it if I tell you that there is an unbelievably selfless give-and-take relationship between a girl and crows? Yep, you heard it right, with crows. The remarkable relationship of Gabby Mann with the crows started when she was 4 years old. While getting out of the car, the rare and casual accidental droppage of food by the girl made the crows go for the food. As she got older, she intentionally started to share her lunch with the crows as she walked to school, and crows used to line up to greet her. In 2013, she started providing a daily snack of peanuts in a bird feeder in their back garden. But what came as a surprise was that the crows began to bring back gifts for the 8-year-old Gabby. The gifts consisted of buttons, beads, earrings, pieces of worn glass, to whatnot. When, once her mom, Lisa, lost her camera lens cap while taking photos in the neighborhood, one of the crows found it and brought it back, leaving it for her in the garden feeder. Number 8. Lurch the Watsui Calf. Lurch, the world-famous record holder of Guinness World Record for the largest horn circumference on a steer, was a Watusi calf. But did you know that the proud record holder was also a lifesaver of his master, Janice Wolf? Once, Wolf, who had nurtured the Lurch to health after rescuing him, was taking a walk with her dogs around her animal sanctuary when her 11-month-old African Watusi calf Lurch started to act oddly. The calf stepped right into her path and turned sideways, blocking her path. Janice grabbed his horns to push him out of the way, but Lurch tossed his head to throw her off balance. It was then when she noticed a coiled copperhead snake, also known as pit viper, lying right before her way. One of Janice Wolf's dogs was even bitten by the snake, upon which Lurch intervened to trample the reptile, thus killing it. Number 7. Female Mowgli. Want to meet a real-life Mowgli? Meet Tippy Degri, whose friends are the wild animals of Africa. Tippy was born and raised in the wilderness areas of southern Africa. If you look at the photographs of Tippy and various wild African animals, it'll be difficult for you to believe its authenticity. The fearless little girl got up incredibly close to a host of animals few of us would trust so fully. Snake, cheetah, elephant. Who is not her friend? Tippy also became friends with the Bushmen and Himba people of Namibia, who taught her how to survive on roots and berries and to speak their language. Tippy, My Book of Africa, is the best-selling, exquisite book of drop-dead photographs of Tippy with different animals. She indeed got unusually close to the animals in the pictures, but many of these animals were not truly wild and were raised on farms or circuses. Nonetheless, this fact should not mitigate the reality that Tippy did form some incredible bonds with these creatures. Number 6. A sister-like python. Cambodian Wildlife Department houses many species of snakes, which often serve as pets for the local population. One of such master-pet bonds is between a boy and its 5-meter-long python. When this brave boy was 3 months old, his father found a 1.5-meter snake in the basement. The father decided to not kill the snake, but leave it in the wild. The father took the snake back to the jungle, but the snake came back. The father tried again twice, but in vain. The stubborn snake was then kept at home and was named Lucky. Lucky and the boy have been inseparable since. The snake now weighs more than 100 kilograms and can swallow its master fully in one gulp if it wants to, which he never did, thanks to the heavens. The boy says that Lucky is like a sister to him, which he never had. Number 5. A loving bear. Now, who has rumored that bears are nasty beasts who attack a human whenever and wherever he spots one? Jim Klavchik, director of Orphaned Wildlife Center for Injured Wildlife Animals, Jumbo inseparable since their first meeting. The director found an injured bear cub in a forest. The cub wouldn't have survived without the help of Jim, so took him to a sanctuary where he nursed and handled the bear cub and named him Jumbo. Since that day, they are quite inseparable. Jumbo has become a real pet and does not want to live in the wild. The bear now weighs more than 700 kilograms and happily hugs its friend whenever he wants.
You love them to death, but there's other times they drive you nuts, right?
Number 4. Part of the lion pride. If anyone will ever hold a competition for the biggest animal lover on earth, Dean Chenier would be a tough competitor in that contest. Part of the lion pride and proud founder of Hakuna Mipaka, this 28-year-old man has devoted his entire life to animals. He discovered its passion for wildlife at 6 or 7 years old by watching the legendary Steve Irwin on TV. As an adult, he opted for the finance industry as a profession, and after 3 successful years as a financial advisor, he gathered enough cash to launch Hakuna Mipaka, a personal, private animal life sanctuary not open to the public. The sanctuary is a secure, wild, and lifelong place for animals that live here. Number 3. Universal love of a gorilla mother. The 8-year-old gorilla made headlines in 1996 when a 3-year-old boy fell into her enclosure at the Brookfield Zoo in Illinois and lost consciousness. Binti Jua, a female lowland gorilla, not only guarded the young boy against the other gorillas, but cradled him in her arms before carrying him 60 feet to an entrance so that zookeepers could retrieve him. She did it all while carrying her 17-month-old baby on her back. And to your surprise, it's not the first time gorillas have instinctively protected children who have accidentally fallen into their enclosures. Number 2. Dendum the penguin. Okay, now hats off to the cutest love story of the century. In 2011, a 71-year-old widower, Joa Pereira de Souza, found a South American Magellanic penguin covered in oil on a beach on an island off the coast of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He instantly formed a bond with the flightless bird and named him Dendum. He looked after the starved creature, took him home, and brought him back to his health. Once the bird regained its strength and coat of feathers, Jo took him back to the sea to let him go. But guess what? Dendum came back, stayed with Jo for 11 months before disappearing. After that, Jo never expected to see him again. But then to his astonishment, the penguin made the 5,000-mile journey from his homeland to Jo's home every year since, arriving in June and staying for up to 8 months, before heading off again. If this is not love, then I don't know what love is.
Acho que ele vai para a Patagônia. Eu tinha vontade de, se eu pudesse, eu ia.
Number 1. Christian the lion. True friendship is resilient. The friendship of John Rendell and Anthony Bork with a lion cub named Christian proves that. When the two Australians saw Christian for sale in Harrods in December 1969, they decided to buy him to give him a better life. They raised the 4-month-old cub in their flat in Chelsea, where he became an apple of everyone's eye. Following summer, they agreed to have Christian flown to Kenya and return to the wild with the help of wildlife conservationist George Adamson. A year later, when they went to see him again, they were told that Christian was now completely wild and would no longer remember them. They still went anyway, and after many hours of looking, finally found Christian, who gave his former flatmates hugs and playful cuddles and introduced them to his wife. It was quite an emotional reunion, to be honest.
Christian was not restricted to the shop for his...
With this last entry, this video now comes to an end. Thank you so much for watching. If the video has touched your heart, then kindly like and share it. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of the upcoming amazing videos.